How do I commentate a video again? Actually, I know.
Well, I guess I'm here now. Hello everyone, Brazio here. I am here to commentate a run that I did not do. Why? Because funny haha. Now, as you could probably already tell from the title of this video, Dogs decided to run Primary and Magic for his run, and as all the greats do when they're limited to two categories, he starts with an Alchemist. Why? Because he is going to be rushing a Rubber to Gold, which earns more income from the Bloons. Now that Dogs has his Rubber to Gold up, all he is going to be doing now is getting Druids. Nothing but Druids. He is going to be creating the biggest monastery of all time. Now the reason Dogs is going to be filling the map with jungles, bounties, and one Spirit of the Forest is because he needs cash. Since Dogs has quite a lot of paragons and temples that he needs to save up for, he is going to have to maximize every little bit of dollars that he can, and the reason that he has to go so hardcore in the farming is because I have a lot more options to get cash, meanwhile Dogs does not. This is his only way. So he has to min-max the farming as much as he can to make sure that he can afford paragons later in the future. Now you may be thinking to yourself, Brazio, alchemists and druids have one big weakness: camo balloons. Yes, that is correct. Druids, middle path druids at least, are not able to see camo. Only the top and middle path tier 5s can actually see camo, which is why until Dogs gets enough money to earn the Spirit of the Forest, he has to place down a ninja in the little square thing at the top right of the screen to deal with round 33. Eventually, over the course of this game, he is going to be upgrading that into a Bloonjitsu and giving it a Berserker Brew buff so it is able to handle camos until about round 80. That last part was a lie. It wasn't until round 80, it was until round 67. The reason I omitted that is because I know you are all going to be making jokes about that. Don't. Throughout this game so far, Dogs has gotten 3 total Rubber to Gold and is starting to increase his Druid army. He's starting to get a significant amount of them and his farming is going pretty well for the round he's at. And actually, we streamed the first 150 rounds of this on YouTube, and you can go check it out there. Dogs decides to replace his Bloonjitsu with a Shimmer, which is why the Bloonjitsu was completely fine there. I guess it's because less damage because he wants to stall, but what kind of loser stall farms with Druids, am I right? I mean, update to 53, where we don't have to stall farm with Druids at all, and they suck now. Anyways, moving forward, Dogs just keeps on adding more Druids. This is the only thing to do, it is the only correct decision. He needs to get as much money as physically possible. And since he has to stall for farming, he actually does not want to be getting the Spirit of the Forest. Even though it gets him more cash, it kills the rounds faster, which means that he's going to have less time to activate his abilities, which give him cash. This is basic 5 IQ plays here, so he really should have thought of this before he was even playing this game. By round 100, Dogs actually has an entire map full of Druids. I'm intimidated. As well as the ridiculous amount of druids he also has a few Rubber to Golds in the beginning, just for that little bit of extra cash, and a few Shimmers scattered around the map, most of them being in the top left, while one being in the bottom right. He also has the Spirit of the Forest in the very bottom right, so that the vines don't damage the Bloons enough, because the Spirit of the vines do less damage the further away they are from the forest. Or the Spirit. Spirit of the Tower? Forest of the Spirit? How do I say that? Finally, he has a Bloon Crush at the beginning of the map to stall the Bloons so he can get more Druid abilities, and an Absolute Zero in the middle of the pool, where he can place down more Druids. Since he can now place Ice Monkeys on water, he can just throw the ice right onto the pool, upgrade it into an Absolute Zero, and then place his towers all around it. Easy as that. Now Dogs is in the farming game. All he has to do is throw down a tech pot, and since activating one Druid ability activates all of them now, he can just AFK, completely AFK. And the best part about his setup is that, and this is a 80 IQ move here, so just slightly below average, he's left some space in the left side of the map where, when the DPS gets a little low, he can place down a bottom and middle path tier 5 ninjas, which will allow him to do more damage to the Bloons and also just give him that little bit of extra boost against the bads that spawn out after round 140, since the rounds after then are random. A side effect of having this many middle path druids on the map is that his life count is maxed. He has 5,000 lives, meaning that if Dogs ever needs to leak a few DDTs, he can. He has the life count too, and if he was rocking Azili, then he would be able to use Azili's totem for a lot of damage. However, that is the one hero that we banned, since that would give me too much of an advantage with Azili rebuy. Now here at round 150 is where the stream ends on YouTube. However, Dogs did keep recording for a little while. In the next tens of rounds, he kept on farming with druids, getting a lot more money than I thought that he would. I'm now scared. Now that Dogs is past round 150, his next goal is to get pops for his paragons. In the middle, in the little tiny square at the top right of the map, Dogs has placed down a tack zone, what's it called? Monarch of the Storms. Yes, I know my BTD6 tier 5s. Like and subscribe. He also has a super battle to increase the damage of the tack zone. I almost said Icicle Impale. Dogs has also placed an Icicle Impale right next to his Bloon Crush to farm pops for his Ice Gon, which, if you don't know, in Update 52, was absolutely broken. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. Right now we're focusing on what Dogs is doing currently, and that is getting so many pops and having so many projectiles on screen that it just turns into an absolute lag fest. I mean, look at this! What? It's like 5 FPS. I mean, he sped it up, so you can't really tell, but who cares? But why? Just get a better PC, like, seriously. On round 175, Dogs gets his first Paragon, which he has accrued enough pops for. He is going to be purchasing the Ascended Shadow, and here is my biggest disadvantage, because the Ascended Shadow is something that I don't have, and I really, really want, because it takes away 25% of the health of bad balloons as they enter the screen. So I'm going to have to be fighting bads that are stronger than Dogs is if we're playing on the same round. This is arguably one of, if not the best ability in the game for Freeplay. I mean, it's up there with Ezeli's Hex and Adora's Blood Sacrifice, but in terms of Freeplay, I put this at S tier, and I'm pretty sure all the other free players will agree with me too. Now, the only thing I don't get Dogs' decision on is why he decided to make it degree 75 instead of going 91. I mean, that's... The best part of the Ninja Gon is the Grand Sabo ability, but you may just want to get that extra damage in anyways, because you have $10 million by round 175. You have the cash to inject the full thing, so why did he get it? Reasons beyond my comprehension. And now that Dogs has the Ninja Paragon, he is going to not have to worry about his setup for a while. And when I say for a while, I mean a while. He gets his next Paragon, a degree 76, once again could have made it 91, Boomerang Paragon, on round 243. That is almost 70 rounds further than when he got his first Paragon, and the Ninja Gon just survived this practically all by itself. Power scaling, am I right? It's gotten to the point in the game for Dogs where all of his towers are now going to get all of their pops, or they're very close to nearing the 16.2 million threshold that Paragons need to get their max degree. As well as this, Dogs' money is starting to get a lot. Dogs' farming is almost complete, and realistically he doesn't have to farm for much more, since after the Paragons and Temples, all the towers he's going to be getting are relatively cheap, and he doesn't really have to be farming much after this. I mean, how much he has right now is enough as it is. 11 rounds after his second Paragon, Dogs gets his third, the Magus Perfectus. This is going to be one of his biggest damage dealers, because the Metamorphosis ability is so incredibly strong. It does a crap ton of DPS, and is absolutely an A tier pick on most free play setups. Now, Dogs here also undersells on the Paragon degree. He only gets 75, which, once again, you have the cash. Just get degree 91. Why? Is this like a 3 billion IQ play that he's saving money for? Do you Adora rebuy now? Do you TSG rebuy? I don't know why he's saving so much cash. Just inject it into the cash slider. Why? On round 275, while Dogs was listening to Golden, yes, I did hear that, Dogs, I actually looked through your recordings, although I can't even blame you, S+ movie. Dogs decides to sell all of his druids, which is a completely fair decision. At $19 million with 3 Paragons already placed, he has more than enough cash, and can now just build the rest of his setup, throw down some temples and ninjas, and basically call it a day. On round 279, Dogs buys his 4th Paragon, and arguably the weakest one that he has in his setup, but he may as well get because it's style points, the Dart Paragon. And finally, Dogs collected his brain cells together, they had a meeting, and they realized, damn, the cash slider exists. He looked up a YouTube tutorial on how it works, and he bloody did it. Degree 92, incredible, standing ovation. He's done it. He started to believe, and he succeeded. It's incredible. And he exited out, went back in, and then redid the Dart Paragon so he didn't add any cash slider. Tears. Tears, I can't believe this guy. Where is the... He just lacks an IQ. It's incredible. He has no shame. Why are you not injecting the cash? Is it to rage bait me? Cause goddammit it's working. Why would you not do this? You have the money, it's the cheapest paragon in the game! Oh, don't worry. He also did the exact same thing with the second cheapest paragon in the game, the tack shooter, which he got 1 round later. I hate you with a burning passion, Dogs. In the late round 280s, Dogs decide to get his first Sun Temples on the field. Now, since he has access to only 2 categories, that being Magic and Primary, he can only sacrifice Magic and Primary to the Sun Temples. However, they are the 2 strongest standalone DPS types, so he should be okay there. Unfortunately, he does not have access to the Support True Sun God buff, one of the strongest buffs in the game, because he can't sacrifice support monkeys to them. What a shame. On round 290, Dogs gets down his Degree 76 Bomb Paragon without injecting any cash. Wait a minute, hold on. Could it be? Could it be? Yes! Woo! Yeah, baby! That's what I'm talking about, that's what I'm here for! Whoa! He got the Degree 91 Paragon! Incredible! He figured out how cash sliders work! Unbelievable, this is a day in humanity. This is a day for the history books. Putting Neil Armstrong on the moon, the building of the pyramids, these are mere footnotes in history, compared to Dogs getting a Degree 91 Bomb Paragon in his Magic and military-only setup. It's not military, Brazio. What are you doing? I was beginning to doubt for a second there that Dogs actually knew how to play this game. Glad my faith in humanity has been restored. Now that Dogs has finished getting an actually high degree Paragon for once, he has decided to finish the rest of his temple setup, getting a true Sun God and spreading temples all around the map. He is going to try and aim for as many temples as possible, since they are the thing that is going to be doing the most damage, other than his Paragons. Skipping to round 320, Dogs has decided to get his final Paragon, the Ice Paragon, to Degree 70 in the middle of the pool. Now this is my second biggest disadvantage compared to Dogs, since the Ice Paragon is just broken in this update. I mean, it freezes bads for 5 seconds, slowing them down to almost nothing. It gave a plus 10 debuff to everything on screen, which had 100% uptime at Degree 1. And not only that, there was a bug with the Ice Gun that allowed it to do plus 50 damage to ninjas, darts, and super monkeys. You know, the 3 things that Dogs is using for his defense, the 3 things that he's going to be spamming all over the place. So Dogs has an insane advantage with the Ice Gun bug, although he technically didn't want it to actually be there, since it is cheating. Although technically, because it's cheating, his run is invalid, which means I win! Yes! Now, more than 300 rounds into this run, we can finally talk about Dogs' hero, Adora. I mean, he has Sun Temples, what other hero is he going to use? This is the most obvious pick. Making the strongest tier 4 in the game even stronger is a no-brainer. This is the best hero he could have picked. Because remember, Ezeli is banned. Dogs is now going to start spamming ninjas all over his defense, because those are the things that are going to be doing the most damage now. Bloon Jitsus, if you don't know, when max buffed, like God boosted, ultra boosted, overclocked, shinobis, permabrew, it is probably the strongest tier 4 in the entire game, bar the temple. Temples are the only thing that are stronger. And the best part is, ninjas, you can fit a whole heap of them into a tiny amount of space, and they work super well with debuffs. And Dogs has a plus 50 debuff on the Ice Gun, so you can tell that each of these are going to be doing absurd damage. After a few more rounds of doing practically nothing because he doesn't want a bunch of projectiles to be on the screen, because that would cause lag and waste time, this is what Dogs' final setup looks like. A whole heap of temples scattered around the map, with Bloon Jitsus being buffed by shinobis, well, technically tier 4 shinobis, but they're basically the same. He has a ton of shinobis and ninjas just in general in the center of the map where they can do the most damage, desperados in the bottom right to buff the range of temples, He has a glue storm in the top, some other tier 5 scattered around, dart monkeys in the top left, in the top right, not top left, and he has a tech bot lining the left side of the map. This is Dogs' complete setup, and I have to say it's not too bad, and the only thing he has to do now is see how far he can make it. Dogs, after a few more hours, eventually makes it to round 400, and a huge chunk of that reason is because he also has access to one final secret weapon, the Legend of the Night, which, if you don't know, every 3 minutes can open a black hole that lasts for 8 seconds that can let any amount of balloons leak through. So if he is unable to defend a round, he can just let the Legend of the Night open its black portal, and whoop-de-dang-do, he just lets the entire thing leak and he doesn't have to worry about it. And that means that he is able to go very, very far, eventually getting into the mid 410s, where he dies to a fortified bat popping at the very end of the map and is killed on 415. Overall, a fantastic run by Dogs, and I don't think I could have done much better if I had done the same setup myself.